Welcome to English Fluency Hacks, the podcast that helps you take your English to the next level. I'm your host, Alex, and I'm Sarah. Today we're diving into a topic many of you have asked about: practical ways to improve your English listening skills. That's right, Sarah. Listening is often the first hurdle people face when trying to communicate. You can know all the grammar and vocabulary in the world, but if you can't understand what the other person is saying, it's a real challenge. Absolutely. And it's not just about understanding native speakers. It's also about understanding different accents, different speeds of talking, and even slang or informal language. So, where do we start? What's the first hack for improving listening? My top tip is immersion, but not in the way you might think. You don't have to move to an English-speaking country. It's about creating an English-speaking environment right where you are. That sounds appealing, Sarah. How do we do that? It's about making English a part of your daily routine. For example, change the language on your phone, your computer, your social media accounts to English. Even small things like that expose you to the language constantly. That's a great point. It's passive learning, but it really adds up. What else? Listen to English content that genuinely interests you. If you love cooking, find English cooking shows or podcasts. If you're into sports, listen to English sports commentary. When you're engaged, you're more likely to pay attention and retain information. I completely agree. I remember when I first started learning, I tried to listen to news broadcasts, but it was too fast and too formal for me. I found it really demotivating. Exactly. You need to find content that's at or just slightly above your current level. For B1 Plus learners, this is crucial. You want to be challenged, but not overwhelmed. So, if news is too much, what are some good alternatives for B1 Plus listeners? Podcasts are fantastic. There are so many podcasts designed for English learners. They often speak slower, explain vocabulary, and repeat key phrases. Can you give us some examples? Sure. For B1 Plus learners, I'd recommend podcasts like Luke's English Podcast, The English We Speak from the BBC, or Espresso English. They cover a range of topics and are very accessible. Those are excellent suggestions, Sarah. And beyond podcasts, what about visual media? Movies and TV shows are a goldmine. My advice here is to start with subtitles in your native language if you need to, but then progress to English subtitles. Eventually, the goal is to watch without any subtitles at all. That's the ultimate goal for many, isn't it? But it takes time. What if someone finds watching with English subtitles still too difficult? Don't be afraid to pause. If you miss a word or a phrase, rewind and listen again. You can even try to write down what you think you heard and then check it later. This active listening is incredibly effective. So it's not just about passively listening, but actively engaging with the content. Precisely. And don't worry if you don't understand every single word. Focus on the main idea, the context. Try to infer the meaning of unfamiliar words from the surrounding words and the situation. That's a really important skill to develop, inferring meaning. It's something we do naturally in our native language. Yes, and it's a skill that gets stronger with practice. Another tip is to listen to the same piece of audio multiple times. The first time, you might get the general idea. The second time, you'll pick up more details. The third time, you might even catch specific words or phrases you missed before. Repetition is key. I've heard that before. It reinforces the sounds and the rhythm of the language. It does. And speaking of rhythm, try to mimic what you hear. When you're listening to a podcast or a show, pay attention to the intonation, the stress on words, and the rhythm of the sentences. Try to repeat sentences aloud, imitating the speaker. This is called shadowing, and it's a powerful technique for both listening and pronunciation. Shadowing. I love that term. It really captures the essence of it. So, we've talked about immersion, engaging with interesting content, using subtitles strategically, active listening, repetition, and shadowing. That's a lot of great advice. It is. But I think one of the most important things to remember is to be patient with yourself. Learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. There will be days when you feel like you're not making progress, and that's perfectly normal. That's so true, Sarah. It's easy to get discouraged. what's your advice for staying motivated? Celebrate small victories. Did you understand a whole sentence without needing to pause? Great! Did you understand the main point of a short YouTube video? Fantastic. Acknowledge these successes. And find a study buddy, perhaps? Someone you can practice with and motivate each other. Absolutely. Practicing speaking with someone else also helps your listening. When you're trying to respond, you're actively listening to understand what they're asking or saying. So, to recap for our listeners, first, immerse yourself by changing device languages and choosing content you enjoy. Second, start with content at your level, like learner podcasts or shows with English subtitles. Third, be active. Pause, rewind, write down words, and infer meaning. Fourth, use repetition and try shadowing to improve pronunciation and comprehension. And finally, be patient and celebrate your progress. That's a perfect summary, Alex. And remember, consistency is more important than intensity. A little bit of English listening practice every day will yield better results than a long session once a week. Excellent advice. So, Sarah, what's one thing you're going to focus on this week to improve your listening? This week, I'm going to try listening to a short news segment in English every day, without subtitles, and try to summarize the main points afterwards. That's a great goal. I think I'll focus on shadowing a podcast episode I enjoy. I'll try to really capture the intonation and rhythm. Fantastic. We encourage all of you to pick one or two of these hacks and try them out this week. Let us know how it goes on our social media channels. That's all the time we have for today on English Fluency Hacks. Join us next time for more tips and tricks to boost your English. Until then, keep practicing